Hello everybody and welcome to my first cocktail instructional video. I hope you're all keeping safe and I hope that this can perhaps add something to your evenings. This is a cocktail that I've made myself. It's an original, JFRO original, called the Scotch Cherry, and it's got 5 very delicious ingredients that I hope you will enjoy if you perhaps make it at home. Do leave a comment below if you do decide to make it. Let me know what your thoughts are about the cocktail, whether you like it or not. So we need 2 different types of whiskey. It's quite unusual to have 2 whiskies in the same cocktail, but I've done that. So the first one is a blended Scotch whiskey. Now this is a famous grouse. This is the Smoky Black, and it's really delicious. It's got that smokiness. It's got that nice amount of peat to the flavour, and it's very nice on its own. If you do like whiskey and you do like a peaty whiskey, I would recommend looking up for that one. And the second whiskey I've got is the Jura Superstition, which is really lovely. A little bit lighter. It's not that as peaty, definitely not as peaty as the famous grouse. And so the two blend quite well together. Now to add a bit of fruitiness and a nice red colour to it, I'm going to add this, which is an M. Briete liqueur de cerise, cherry liqueur. And the fruitiness of that cuts and blends really nicely with the whiskey. And then these 2 ingredients, we're not going to add too much of it, but they are quite potent. So we're going to add a little dash of Angostura bitters, and then this is a very special spirit that I bought over in Iceland, which is an Icelandic schnapps. Now you don't need to add this if you don't have it. It's probably highly unlikely that you do have this, but obviously as I have it, I'm going to use it. As I say, if you don't worry, it's sort of a minor ingredient to all the rest, so I'm sure you'll still enjoy it without it. So to make the cocktail, what you want to do first is to put a martini glass straight in the freezer, because you want the glass to be chilled. Because otherwise the cocktail, when you make it and you shake it with ice, it becomes cold. You pour it into the glass and it immediately starts to gain temperature. And what it does to the cocktail is it becomes less mellow and it becomes a little bit harsh, and we don't want that. The whole thing with cocktails is you want to taste every single flavour and you want it to taste nice and mellow and smooth. So if you chill the glass, it just helps slow that down a bit more. You get to enjoy it a lot more. So we're going to add a single measure of each whiskey. I'm going to do this by sight, but ideally if you can use a measure, that's perfect. Particularly if you've got friends coming over, you don't want them getting too drunk, and certainly if they don't know. So if you're confident using, by sight, do, but as I say, I warned you first. Okay, so we've got our 2 single measures of our whiskies. I'm going to put those over there. And then we need a double measure of this cherry liqueur. It's absolutely delicious. I've used this to do a nice bakewell tart cocktail. Now, that might seem a lot, but it's got quite a small sort of pourer. So you obviously have to stay there holding the bottle for so long. Next, I'm going to add 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Just to give it a little shake. 1, 2. And then I'm going to add a bar spoonful of this delicious Icelandic schnapps. If the cork will open. There we go. And another bar spoon. If you don't have a bar spoon, just about probably a quarter of a teaspoon, half a teaspoon at max. You don't want too much because it is very strong. It's 47%. So we've got all our ingredients there. I'm going to go grab some ice and get ready to shake. So we've got our ice cubes here. We're going to add all of the ice cubes as much as we can to the shaker, because we want it to be nice and chilled when this is going in. Oh dear, that's going well. There we go. In there like that. Now we want to make sure the lid is closed, because the first time that I ever made a cocktail, I forgot the lid was sort of slightly off and I spilled cocktail everywhere. So just give it a little tap just to make sure, and then we want to shake ideally for 10 or 15 seconds, but I'm just going to do it quickly just to save a bit of time. Now, the technique there isn't really a technique with shaking. Ideally, you want it to be sort of quite vigorous, but also quite smooth. So you don't break up the ice too much. You want it to be quite intact, so it chills the drink rather than dilutes the drink. Okay, so off with the lid, and we will go and get our martini glass. So we have our frozen martini glass, which is I love seeing glasses when they're like that. That sort of nice frosting and condensation forming on the glass. Now, if you have a strainer, you can use it, but you don't necessarily need to. Strainers are really used for sort of just making sure that if there's ice or fruit and you don't want that in, it just keeps that away from pouring out. This cocktail shaker, for example, has a little strainer which is ideal for this sort of drink, and we're just going to pour this straight into the glass, like so. And there we go. So you can garnish this. I would recommend with a cherry if you've got a cocktail cherry. There's some shops that do nice kirsch soak cherries, and I would recommend using that just to garnish. Or you can put an orange twist or lemon twist. It's entirely up to you, whatever is your preference. But here we have the Scotch cherry. Cheers. So I hope that you enjoy this video. As I say, if you make this cocktail, please do let me know, comment below, like the video, share to anyone that loves cocktails and would like to see more of this. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.